All Access with BYU head football coach Bronco Mendenhall. Coach, successful start to the season. Maybe that's an understatement. You break some trends going back east. You score 35 points and you come away with a decisive 25-point win. But now you get to focus on Texas. So how long were you actually able to enjoy that Connecticut win?
I would say from the time we left the stadium till we got to the airplane. So maybe that's an hour and a half, 2 hours worth, and then the staff is considering, or what they're doing is they're working on grading the game film, and then I'm already working on the next opponent.
That fast?
That fast.
You have a number of guys going home this week back to Texas. T-John Caroma and Harvey Jackson, Jordan Leslie, just to name a few off the top of my head. What does a game like this mean to those players?
Those ones are special if and when that you play well. So it's special to them in the week of preparation. It's special to them talking to the folks back home. It's fun for them to think about who's coming, managing the tickets, doing all that, who might be at the fireside or seeing them at the hotel. But really what caps the week is if you play well and you have success.
A lot of people are talking about this is like an audition game, a de facto, hey, we should be in the Big 12 game. Do you view it at all like that?
All I do is acknowledge that that's real, and then we go right back to playing the game. Yeah, there's broader implications in this unique time in college football. It does not mean that we'll be in, out, or indifferent based on the outcome. It'll just give some people something to talk about, and the perception of our program will be reflected at least for a week by the outcome of this game.
Certainly there have been a lot of people that have talked about your success against Texas and Oklahoma. I believe 5-1 all-time against the two powers of the Big 12. What is it about BYU that you've been able to find such success against those programs?
I don't know. I think sometimes players really like a chance to step up and measure themselves and get a great opportunity, an opportunity they don't get very often. And so possibly the Texases and Oklahomas of the world, it's the next BYU playing them, where maybe the players at BYU or other schools say, man, this is a great opportunity, and maybe they bring a little bit more.
Given everything that is riding on this game, I know you've had some big games in Independence, at Notre Dame, Oregon State at home. Texas certainly last year was a big game. Is this the biggest game that BYU has played in its independent state?
I don't think so. I might look back 10 years from now and say differently. I'm not ever sure at the time if you can identify that. It doesn't feel like that.
Yeah, tough to pinpoint it.
Yeah. Who knows? Right now it's just game number 2 of a team and a coach in a season that we're trying to make really special.
How do you keep your players fully focused when there's been so much media fallout? I learned last night that 2 more of their offensive linemen are going to be out for the game. They already lost David Ash, their quarterback, and their starting center Dominic Espinoza, and the safety's out and a receiver. How do you keep your guys focused on that? Look, we're playing Texas.
Really the same way that we did before. We went to UConn without 5 of our key players, and it's just college football. Young people make choices, people make choices. The program is bigger than any one player, any one coach, and you just take the existing players you have, prepare them the best way that you can. Division I players are good, whether they're first team or second team, and then you go play the game. And so we've experienced the Texas side of it a week ago, and now we're experiencing a different side of it. There isn't much difference.
I talked to Michael Olise yesterday at length, and he said that the team is, from his perspective in the locker room, calm and confident and loose, but he said, I don't want you to take that as we feel like we're just going to go in there and it's going to be a cakewalk. He said it's a business trip. Is this a unique mentality that any of your teams has ever had?
You know, I've seen similar teams and similar approaches. It's just fun when you can see a team that is confident and calm at the same time and knows when it's work time and when it's time to just enjoy the camaraderie of their teammates. But holding themselves in a way that they believe the outcome will be positive.
BYU is now a marquee game on the home schedule for Texas. Maybe the marquee game given what happened last year. What does it mean to you to hear that everyone in Texas has BYU circled on the calendar?
Oh, it's great. It's great because it really reflects inclusion, and so regardless of what the world is saying about Power 5, Group of 5, the different names and tags that are going with it. The teams that play us, I think, recognize that that we're capable, we're a good football program, and and they better be ready to play when they schedule BYU, and that's a positive thing for our program.
Also, you get some key players back this week. Jamal Williams, notably Devon Blackman. You get your starting cornerbacks back if you want them. Jordan Johnson, I know, is behind Michael Davis right now on the depth chart, but throwing Roberts and Daniel, and the list kind of goes on. Should Texas be worried about the fact that you have this much depth coming in there?
Oh, I'm not sure whether they'll be more worried or all of a sudden say, man, we better change our plan. Really, what happens is we have more players, more depth. And for the type of game that we play and the number of plays that we play, we have more capable players to play more plays, which is that's a positive thing for our program. Whether it changes anything for them, I think they acknowledge it and just go right back to their plan. How
was the conditioning of your team on film as you reviewed tape against UConn last week?
I liked it. In relation to our first game a year ago, I liked it a lot. I saw a little bit of fall off at receiver as the game went on, so one more receiver to have rotated through would have been helpful. Really, special teams, I didn't see it take a toll defensively or really offensively other than possibly the receiver spot toward the end, and so far so good.
Can you give us an update on the kicking game in terms of kickoff players and field goal units?
So we actually have practiced and charted that the entire week, and so competition brings out the best in people, and so we have a lively contest. We'll be traveling more kickers than we did a week ago. Not ready as of today to yet name a starter. We're going to do a little bit more analysis and then even check demeanor on the trip and just see then maybe at pregame we'll say, okay, you're going to be the one.
So if someone gives you a candy bar or whatever, does that help them?
I've been known to be able to be influenced by snacks, but that doesn't mean all of a sudden we're friends.
That's fair. That's fair.